Hello everyone, welcome. I see some happy and surprised face for people that know me. My name is Wesley, and I feel so honored today because, well, I love you guys. It's such an honor to be here in the Officiant. I'd like to say that I know Murillo for so long. It's been more than 15 years, which has been very honored to be like, not just a friend, but it's just a brother. We had like so many nice and so bad times together. I think that's what a friendship is made of, right? The good and the bad times, always support each other. We probably could even tell some stories, but I'm gonna leave that for a little later. But I need to say that to be here with you today, to be able to come and like share some words on my heart, it's more than a pleasure. It's more than a pleasure. I love you, man, and I'm very happy to be here. I also have like a very long story of friendship with Sam. It's just been 3 days, and well, more than enough to know why Murillo is so in love for you. You're a loving person. It's easy to love you, and so I'm very happy also with that opportunity to not just to meet you better, to know you better, but also to share some of what I have in my heart for you. Well, it just took me 3 days to know that you don't deserve her. You know that. Well, but I don't think you deserve him either, you know? Yeah, you didn't do anything wrong, but you deserve him, right? But that's okay. I love you, Mom. I'm just joking. Well, I'd like to talk a little bit about why you came here today. You came to talk about love, and love is such like a hard word these days for people to just open their heart and just say. Why it's so hard to say I love you, right? Why it's so hard like for us to open like not just our hearts but our intentions to someone and say, you know, I love you so much. And one of the reasons why I understand it's so hard, it's because sometimes you don't know exactly what love means. Sometimes you don't know exactly how love can impact our lives. And well, we are gathered all here today to be part of this, to be testimonies in a love case. When we both have been found, right? Guilt in charge for like that sin of being loved. Which, by the way, I hope all of you had like the same luck they had to find love with someone that you can share your life with. Well, it's so interesting because it was hard for me as a friend, I know Murillo for so long, to think in some interesting stories I like to share, but I just have 15 minutes, so I'm gonna need to be very short. Which is funny because I keep thinking all the odds, right? So I'm from Brazil, trying to adventure in a different life in Canada, and at the same time a Newfoundlander that just comes to Toronto to also find a new life. And what are the odds, right? For two people for such different backgrounds to find each other, to find love, and to have this moment right now. Thinking all the different paths they could have taken, right? All different things could happen. So they not be here today at this exact moment, just sharing life. Well, I could even thinking, what if not Julia? Sam's mom had not found like, okay, someone switched my baby at the hospital. Why could happen, right? By the way, that's a true story.
It's a true story.
True story. So that's very interesting. Or if a friend like me will not be like close to Murillo enough to say, hey, you know, life should be different, should be in this way, and give all the good suggestions, and you know. Well, that's awesome. That's amazing how life brings you both together right at this moment. And someone said that love is not something so easy actually to understand. And it's the reason why these days is so polarized, right? If I ask all of you what love means to you, maybe you could give like many different answers for that. But I would like to put all of this in just one simple word, which is decision. Love is not a feeling, not something you have inside, like moving your guts. No. Love is a decision. It's a decision that it requires some courage, some patience, requires a lot like your strength to make that happen. And you see that when you really decide for each other, when it's a decision for the bottom of your heart, you start seeing that doesn't matter the wind that goes against you both, to make you feel like something is not going well, something's not working, doesn't matter. Because that's deep inside of you, that decision to love each other, to decide for each other. Someone said, marriage is a fine art. To keep a marriage alive is one of the greatest arts. But to be married and happy, that's the art of arts. It's funny, but at the same time, whoa, that's the challenge, right? That's the challenge you both are putting yourselves today. To be in love, to decide for each other, and to be happy. I read once some very interesting words from Father Antonio Villa. Interesting that his speech about love was like in 1645. It was so long ago and still matters these days. Which he says that most of the couples that don't exactly understand each other so well in this path of love, sometimes because they don't understand 4 different things that means what love means, how love can impact someone. And one of the things about some ignorance about what it could be. Interesting, I was like talking to my wife. It's been 8 years together, and I was asking her like, have you ever once thought about divorcing? He said, no. In 8 years, I never even considered the idea of divorcing. About murder, probably many times, which I don't blame her. And I think that's part of this path, that journey about falling in love, about like living a life together. And he says, for an interesting thing that I would like to share with you, I think they're very wise. For ignorance about how love could be or not be. So the ignorance of what love is, the ignorance about myself, the ignorance about my partner, or the ignorance about the outcomes of this relationship. So, as I said, love is a decision. Not just something that happens. It's something that you decide and you go to the journey together. The ignorance about yourself, that's something so complicated. I know so many people that say, when I fell in love, I was a different person. I was young. I didn't understand exactly who I was at that time. And now that I'm mature, it's so hard to love. I'm looking at the same person. So it's very important for you to know yourself very well. It's important because, well, if you don't know yourself so well, it's going to reflect in your partner. And we don't like to see each other in the eyes of our partner. And it's because it's easier sometimes to just give up than to look deep inside ourselves and change. So, hear each other. Try to learn who you are through her eyes. And the same for you, Sam. Look through him, through his eyes, to understand who you are. Also, ignorance about the partner. So, there's a saying that I think is so deep. It says, how wonderful and admirable are people that we don't know so well. And that's life, right? When you don't know someone so well, sometimes this person looks so amazing, and you finally deeply know that person. And I think I know you enough to have a very good thoughts about you. And you're soon gonna probably know more about Murillo in a way. It's gonna be very interesting. It's gonna bring more maturity for a relationship. And also the last one about the outcomes of love. So many people say, when I get married, I didn't know that marriage gonna lead me to this path. Look who I am today. And why that? I never expect that to happen to me. So don't be ignorant about the outcomes of love. Because you need to understand that there's no path that you could not walk if you're together. So being together is more important than any obstacle you can see that you can find in life. And sometimes you can say, that's so hard. How we can love in all these different senses? following these different four ideas of what love is. And someone did this and showed that's possible. Jesus knew deeply that what love means without any ignorance. He knew what unconditional love means. He knew himself very well. Even though in flesh and bones, he knew to be one with the Father. So he was not ignorant about himself. He knew us very well that we would even be that kind of person. Maybe to the point of betrayal. He knew that this love would cost him everything, paying the price of the cross. And he did. Faith is like love, which is not something that we feel inside. Faith is a decision based on love and trust in a profound bond based on love. Which, I don't think that when we finally meet with God, He will ask us many things. But if He asks us something, I believe it will be, what did you do with that amazing person that I gave to you? Is he a better man after he met you? Is she a better Sam? I will bring the best version of Sam. So this here is a big responsibility. It's bringing you both today. And the big challenge for two to become one. It's easy just to be yourself, but what about you both becoming just one single person? Changing, adapting to know each other so well. And I would like to read this very short verse from Ephesians, book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 25, which says, husbands, love your wife, just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. In the same way, say, wives, love your husband, just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for him. This is a very profound vow. And talking about vows, that's the time when you have this great opportunity to open your heart and share it. So you should be the first, right? I'll be holding the microphone for you. Are you ready?